Good day, everyone. Welcome to this explanation video regarding the understanding of which option to choose when filing beneficial ownership information. The simple question we're answering today is understanding which category to choose between affected and non-affected companies. The purpose of this video is to give you the necessary tools and understanding as to which category or option you are required to choose when filing beneficial ownership information. Now, as far as categories, there's three categories that you can file beneficial ownership under. The first being non-affected company with beneficial ownership information. The second being affected company. And the third being affected company without beneficial ownership information. Now, the question is, how do you know then from these options, which one is the one that you are required to choose based on the company that you will be declaring information for? Now, we're going to just cover two simple questions that will give us an understanding as to which option to choose. So here we firstly going to look at, are we an affected or are we not an affected company? And we're going to do so by just going through the following questions. The first is the company a public company? Is the company a state-owned company? Did the private company transfer more than 10% of its securities or of its shares in the past 24 months before declaring this information? Is the private company majority owned or controlled by another affected company? Or is the private company a subsidiary of an affected company? Now, by answering yes to any of the above questions, meaning the public company is state-owned, if the private company transferred more than 10% of its securities in the past 24 months, or if the private company is controlled by an affected company, or the private company is a subsidiary of an affected company, if you answered yes to any of these questions, it means then the company you're declaring information for will be an affected company. However, if it is that you answered no to all of the questions above, then it means the entity that you are declaring information for would then be what we call a non-affected company. So now we already know now, based on your company information that you're declaring, if you are an affected and not affected. So if you said no, obviously meaning that you are not an affected entity or not an affected company, you then now have to look at the ownership part of the information that you'll be declaring. And we're also going to go through that by answering just a few simple questions to say that for the entity that I'm declaring or the company that I'm declaring information for, does one person hold securities or shares on behalf of another person? Meaning, are you holding shares for another beneficial owner? The second question is the person holding more than 5% of securities or shares with voting rights? Is the person who has the right to appoint and remove directors in the company that you are declaring information for? And the last is that is the person or persons that have the ability to materially influence the management of the declaring company. Now, simply put, if you are able to just answer yes or no to the above questions, if you answered yes to any one of the above questions, then it means that you do have beneficial ownership information to declare on behalf of that company. And if you answered no to all of the questions above, then it means you do not have beneficial ownership information to declare. Now, based on the last question and this question, you already now will be having an understanding that are you one an affected company or not? And if you are a non-affected company, are you an unaffected company with beneficial ownership? And are you an unaffected company without beneficial ownership? And with that, we hope that it provides a bit of understanding and clarity as to which category or option you are required to choose when filing beneficial ownership information. Thank you very much.